everyone, welcome back to another video. So today, right, I wanted to see, I've got my Aliana hand. Okay, I said real hand, but you know, it's, you know, a pretend hand. Anyway, I wanted to see how difficult or easy it would be to hand paint on a real hand. It's really hard. Look, right, I've got these tips that I've only ever so slightly put into the fingers of the hand, which didn't help, but I've got this beautiful hand that I don't use very often, and I'm thinking I need to make the most of it. So today I've got my Madam Glam gels and gel polishes, and we're going to try and create a set of nails, this one here. And I thought, okay, it doesn't look too bad. On tips it would be fine. I thought, let's see how we get on a hand. So I'm going to show you everything that I do. So this is going to be, it is sped up a little bit. Ignore that index, no, the ring finger, ignore that. It's got to be white, and I didn't think about it at the time, but it's got to be a white background, and I've made it a nude. So just ignore that it's nude at the minute. We're going to skip past it, and you'll see in a minute. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start each nail, apart from the ring finger, is going to have 2 coats of, this colour is called Flirty. It is a sheer nude. Now I'm going to matte top coat this in the end like she does. Also, I'm not very good at capping. I forget to cap sometimes. So also don't touch the gel polish with your naked skin. Just saying. Cure that for 30 seconds, and then you want to start your second coat. I've forgotten what I was going to say. I don't know. What was I going to say? I don't know. Anyway, you can save 5% on an Aliana hand using code NatMug5. I'll leave the link to their website and the discount code is down below, but the one that I'm using is called Anais, and she is a lifelike flexible. She's not posable, she's flexible, and she's in the shade Autumn, so she looks like she's got a slight tan, which I quite like. Yeah, so actually I think I know what I was going to say. This does look a little bit patchy, but it is a little bit sheer. I quite like sheer gel polishes as nudes, but I am going to matte top coat it, and it doesn't, you don't really notice any of the, can you see on the pinky that it's see-through? It's kind of, it's more sheer, but it's fine. This is me adding 1 coat of white to the index finger, even though I meant pinky. No, what? It's a ring finger, Nats. Duh. I only needed 1 coat. It covered like a dream. That's Madam Glam's Perfect White. This is called Dynamic Blue. It's one of their gel paints. It's one of the, I mean, this gel paint's been out for ages, but they released a set of 12 like normal coloured gel paints, and then they released some more like neon-y colours, and this was part of that neon-y coloured set that they released. There was only 6, I think, not like another 12 like the original, but these ones are really nice. So the original set had red lines. I decided to do blue lines because I thought it was a little bit more nautical. I don't know, I mean, each to their own. I do like the red ones though, I'm not gonna lie, the red ones were really nice. By the way, I can't remember who the image was, I can't remember what profile that nail set was from, but I'm going to link the profile down below. If it was one of those Instagram accounts that borrow someone else's photos, then I will put the original, I'll find the original account and link it down below. I made a boo-boo here. There was a hair, right, and it would not come off, so I ended up having to get my tweezers, and I made a right mess here, but it was a little bugger. I got it off in the end. And then, yeah, so on this one, I needed the bottom half of the nail to be white. So again, I've gone over with white, and I only do 1 coat because it covers really well. Then I cure that in the lamp. You're going to need a chrome. I mean, it doesn't have to be chrome, but it looked like they'd used like a silver chrome. So yeah, don't look. This, by the way, this is the start of an absolute mess. This nail just did not behave at all. I'm going to use my detailer brush. If you've got a striper brush, you might prefer a striper brush for doing the stripes. I've got a tickly throat, by the way. I don't know what's up with my throat at the moment. It's just a bit tickly, and I keep wanting to cough. I haven't got a... No, I'm a little... I don't know, it might be hay fever. I'm not sure. But anyway, just ignore it if I sound a bit funny. I probably don't. I probably sound fine. It's probably just in my head. Right. We're going to do 2 lines on this one. 2 lines of blue. I tried to make... See, look, this one looks a little bit thicker than the top one. So I think I tried to make the top one a little bit thicker. And then, yeah, and also her hand kept getting in the way. If it was a client, you could ask your client to, like, move their fingers. But because this one, and also this one is a flexible, not opposable. So when you move the finger, it wants to boing back. So I kept having to, look, I don't even know what I was cleaning up here, because that looked absolutely fine to me. And then there was a hair, right? And then, wait for it. Look, hang on. I tried to poke it back in. And it just popped out. And then, honestly, and then it just all went wrong. So I was like, right, we're just gonna wipe this up. Right, you do, Ali and Hand do sell, like, the tips that actually poke into the... I'm just lazy because I don't want to tip my tips. So you put the tips into their fingers, and that tip then acts as the nail, the natural nail on a hand. And then you either put tips or sculpt onto that tip that is supposed to be, you know, pretending to be the natural nail. I was like that with my flexi hand though. I just shoved, I was terrible. Right, the gel paints cure for 60 seconds, by the way. I'm then going to go over with my silver chrome. If you don't have the silver chrome gel paint, you could just use their silver gel paint. Looks a little bit more glittery, but it will do the job. It will do the same, you know, do the same job. So once I've done that, again, that'll have a cure. And then I'm going to start to, this is where I thought I was going to go completely wrong. It's doing the, is it called a, what's it called? Is it called a life ring? You know, the light, is it a life ring? I don't know. Maybe I should just quickly Google it. What are the rings called on a lifeboat? I don't know. Let's just see what that says. It's a life buoy. Life buoy. That sounds so funny. A life buoy. Oh, the Kisby ring. Sometimes Kisby ring or Kisby ring is thought to be named. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's called a life buoy. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Right, so this one that I done, the middle was really tiny. Look, I'm making that middle bit of it really small, and I'm like, aren't people supposed to put this over their body and climb into it? Or am I thinking of a, you know, when kids go to a swimming pool and they have them around their waists? Like, if this was my life buoy, that wouldn't even fit around my head. I'm not even sure I'd get my hand through that. Anyway, look, shut up, Nats. You know what it is in the end. Right. So this is the base of it, right? It's white. So I'm going to cure this for 60 seconds. Then I'm going to draw on the red, because I'm doing it red. The red, like, I want to call them stripes, but they're really thick. So I do a cross so that I can map out my sections. So the cross would be the center of one red section. And I was trying to get it so that they were all roughly the same width. I'm not quite sure if it worked out. I can't remember. I need to cough. Hang on. And then, yeah, I will fill it in. Oh, swig of Pepsi. Sorry. Yeah, back to the voiceover, Nats. This part I might just put elevator music on, because I'm just filling in the red parts and it's a little bit fiddly. So, and actually, no, I'm not going to put elevator music on. Right, a lot of the time I do my hand painted designs on tips, and it's just so much easier. But I wanted to show you that I mean, you're going to know anyway, because you'll see loads of really talented nail techs that do crazy detailed designs on real hands. So it is possible, but it is a lot harder. I mean, my hat's off to anyone that does this every day. But it can be done. And I think with anything like this, just practice is the key. And I don't think practice makes perfect, but practice does make, improvement. It does make improvement. I think we can always improve in, I mean, there are some people that just, all the nails are perfect all the time. And it just, you know, that's great. But for everyone else, like, for every like people like you and me, we need to practice. So yeah, but I wanted to show you that. And actually these nails, I really like these in the end, even with my nail blunder with the nails popping out the hand. But that was my fault because I'm too lazy with my tips. But right, this part here, sorry, I waffled on a bit there. This part here, I'm taking a little bit of black gel polish and mixing it up with some base coat to make a kind of jelly black, because the Lifebuoy on the original design looked like it had some shading on it, and I thought I wanted to get them as perfect as possible. So that's hence why I was trying to make this black sort of jelly gel polish concoction. And I'm just going to put this all the way around the outside of the Lifebuoy, because I know that's what it's called now. And then what I do is, before I cure it, I'm going to grab one of those little, look, these little eyeshadow applicators, and just dab around the inside just to help the shadow kind of blend, because it just gets rid of my brush strokes. And I'm going to leave it like that and pop it in the lamp. It doesn't look like there's any point in me doing that really, because it doesn't look like there's much of a shadow. But I'm going to use my little pink Perfect Matte top coat to top coat these, because the original set was matte, so I want to do exactly the same. And obviously I will go over all of the nails. At this part I would normally skip forward, but I want you to see me doing the whole thing, because I want you to see that, you know, we can do it on real nails. It's just, I tell you, it is so much harder. Yeah. But do you know what? Once it was done, I was really pleased with them. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, I can do it on real nails. And when you're doing it on real nails, don't be scared to turn your client's hand upside down and bend their fingers, like you know, turn the hand upside down and bend their fingers towards them, just so that, because you can move, like some people say to me when I move tips around, they were like, you can't move a client's hand like that. You can move a client's hand however you want to move a client's hand. Don't be scared to ask them, you know, or not even ask them, just take their hand and move it, for goodness sakes. You know, if you need to get their hand in a particular position to do a particular part of the design, then do it. Otherwise, you know, don't, you know, says me that doesn't have clients, but you know, don't be scared. They won't mind. This is on the design, it had like a shark fin, and then it had some little wavy lines underneath. This reminds me of one of those, do you remember in that film, the Ghostbusters, where they're looking at cards and the guy had to tell them what was on the other side of the card without looking? This reminds me of, I don't know why it just brought that into my head. Anyway, yeah, so 2 wavy lines and then a shark fin, and then that will go in the lamp for 60 seconds. And then on this one, actually this one was quite tricky. So because I'm drawing on the anchor, and because we are drawing an anchor onto some already straight lines, I was a little bit worried that this like smile part of the anchor was going to be totally wonky. So yeah, do make sure that your smile and your, I don't know what you want to call it, you know, the center part of the anchor, just make sure they kind of are, you know, aligned properly, because having those lines underneath can really, what's the word? It can really muck you up. I don't know what the words are, but do you know what I mean? Yeah, I think you might know. I don't know. So with the anchor, you've got 2 little arrows on the end of the smile, and then it kind of points down at the bottom as well. It goes like into a point. And then you're going to put these little tiny arms at the, somewhere here. Turn it into a cross. And then it's going to have a little tiny circly hoop at the top. This was the hardest part, this little circle bit. That was awkward. But once you've done that, you can pop that in the lamp for a 60-second cure. And then on this little life buoy, my little fat life buoy with a tiny ring in the bottom that you wouldn't get any human being through. Is that what you do? You throw that, doesn't the person go in the hole and it goes around their waist, like it goes around their body? Or am I going mad? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, this is my little chubby life buoy. I'm doing because the original nail artist done theirs white, so that's what I'm gonna do. And the good thing about, I say it every time, but if you're new here and you don't know Madam Glam's gel paints don't have a tacky layer. So just because normally if you use a gel paint on a top coated nail like I'm doing now, you'd have to top coat again because the gel paint would have a tacky layer, so you'd have to top coat again. But because these don't have a tacky layer, I don't have to worry about top coating the nails again. And also what I like about these is they will cure shiny. So I like that I have a matte nail with the shiny detail on it. It just adds a nice contrast. That's what I'm trying to say. There we go. So once I've done that, that can go in the lamp. Now the lady did have, or I'm assuming it was a lady nail tech. It might be a man. They did put some other detail on the life buoy, but I didn't want to do that, so I didn't. And then these were probably the hardest part of the whole set because they are tiny, and I was worried that I didn't cure these as I went. I'd done the whole nail and then I cured it, and I thought if I get 2 done and then that 3rd one I muck up, I thought it was going to be really awkward for me to, I thought it might be awkward for me to remove the 3rd one and have to do it again if I had to, but I just went for it. So they had 3 little white anchors. It's quite difficult without making the anchors too thick, but getting all the detail on, like the little arrows on the smiles. And getting that little pointy bit out the bottom. The little cross part was the easiest part. And then we're just going to add that 3rd one here. Unfortunately, I didn't have to wipe it all off and start again because that would have been annoying. Actually, they weren't too bad to do. And they were all roughly the same size, which I was pleased about because again, that could have been an issue. There we go. And with this one, I'm going to add the dots with a dotting tool. So I'm just going to grab a dotting tool out my drawer and I'm going to place the dots. I think these were quite big, but anyway. There we go. And then instead of curing this as it is, I'm going to sprinkle this with some clear acrylic powder. And it's going to make these look embossed. And it will also matte them. So with the other details on the nail that we've done with the gel paints, that will be shiny. But these they will look matte because when the gel paint sucks up the acrylic powder, it turns it matte. So you just have to keep sprinkling until the gel paint stays matte, sorry. And then you can cure it in the lamp for 60 seconds. Brush off the excess, and then I will show you them done. There we go. So I was actually really pleased with how these turned out. You can save 30% off Madam Glam products using my code NATMUG30. All the links and discount codes will be down below. But I hope you liked this video. If you did, please leave me a like. If you haven't already, do consider subscribing. It's completely free. Let me know how you feel about hand painting on real hands or real nails as well. Do you love it or do you struggle? God bless, love you all, and I'll see you in the next one. Love you, bye.